This episode of Earn Your Happy is sponsored in part by Shopify, Constant Contact, Cozy Earth, Airbnb, and OpenPhone. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Constant Contact's award-winning marketing platform is here to make marketing way easier and way more effective. Try Constant Contact free for 30 days at constantcontact.com. Where would you live for a year if you hosted your home on Airbnb and went on an adventure? Find a co-host at airbnb.com/host. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, stay cozy. Go to cozyearth.com and use code EARN for 40% off. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/earn. When you think of things that are saturated, I think the separator is always your individual story and personality. That is our separator. Even with AI right now, I'm just thinking of building my company. Anyone can go and create beautiful branding, create incredible emails, create incredible funnels with ChatGPT. It is blowing my mind what we're capable of doing. And I think that the separator in everything is going to be how much of a vulnerable, real community can you create? That will be your separator. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. This has been like the best day ever so far. Okay.
Sounds like it. Well, very good. Well, I'm super excited to have you on the stage today. Lori's been with us a few times. She was in LA with us, and I think a few others. But so it's always good to have female entrepreneurs on this Aspire stage. Appreciate you coming out today.
I'm always so crazy inspired, and I'm not going to lie. This like levels me up. I'm backstage like, what am I doing here? Okay. All right. We're going to do this. Yeah.
So you've been an author, obviously a business owner. You guys you and your husband have a business together. You know, if you don't mind, just so that those that maybe haven't had the chance to meet you or know you can kind of hear a little bit of your story. Can you just start back at the beginning? So instead of jumping into the business and all the success you guys have had, kind of take us back to the beginning. Like what started all of this?
Well, I'll go back to the very beginning of just growing up in a really small town. Who from here is from a very small town who saw nothing like what we're seeing today? Okay, show of hands. Show me who is like, I couldn't have even imagined myself here. Okay, so I'm from a really small town in Upper Michigan. I was also raised in a religion where I went door to door every single week. So I lovingly call that now rejection therapy. Because it's weird how people didn't want to buy into Armageddon. But anyway, I converted exactly this many people in 18 years of being in that religion. And through that, I look back on that now and I'm so grateful for those times because I swear to you, that is where I built so much resilience is in all of those rejections. Anybody in like a massive rejection period right now? You're just in therapy. It's free. Life is giving you free therapy. It's wonderful. So when I turned 18, I ended up leaving that religion, love my family so much, but I knew that there was something more for me. No clue what that was. But I also knew, because I grew up from an overweight family, that I really was intrigued by health and fitness. And at the time, you guys, there was no like Instagram, there was no Facebook. It was very much, if you wanted to be in the fitness space, you were like Jillian Michaels, or you were like in these like fitness competitions. And so that's the route that I went. And I started entrepreneurship because I not only wanted to get fit, but I also wanted to help other people transform. Now, this was a little bit of a barrier considering that I didn't graduate high school. And I actually, one of the reasons I got into fitness as well is it was one of the only industries that didn't ask you for a high school diploma. And so I found this little like gateway in. I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll be so good at it. And throughout the fitness journey, I really started that entrepreneurship journey. And from there, when I started a very small business in the basement of the lower level of a chiropractic center of a client who was an LA Fitness client, she said to me one day, she said, "Hey, Lori, I have this unfinished basement. I'm opening a new practice. Would you ever want to train me for free while you get your business off the ground? Because you're always telling me that you want to start a business." That's key number one, everybody. Tell everybody that you know that you want what you want to do, because people are the path to make your dreams come true. So tell people in this room. And so because I told her so much, she's like, "Hey, get started in my basement." Now, this was an unfinished basement. It was like studs. It was the wires hanging down everywhere. And I just told people, I said, oh, we're in construction. This is going to get done. I had $0 to put into this basement, but that's really where that started. And from that, what I learned is that when people start on that fitness journey, it's kind of like the initial cracking open to more. Anybody in here like had a health journey that all of a sudden, once you get that under wraps, you're like, oh, I think I might want to do more. Like, I think I might want to make money or get into business. And so I just noticed this trend with all of the women that I was training that all of a sudden they start getting their health in check, that now they want to do more. They want to be more. They're kind of like, whoa, I think that, this made me feel confident. This made me feel like there's more. And so from there, that started me training people on personal development. And then the personal development piece got me into the entrepreneurship piece, because again, you kind of crack people open with personal development and then they realize they want to make money.
So for you, coming from, you said, an overweight family into being now someone who's training someone in fitness, and then now transitioning into entrepreneurship, what mindset shifts have had to take place to go from being where you are to then being successful in something that maybe you struggled with?
One of the biggest mindset shifts that happened for me is understanding that you don't have to know it all, and you don't have to know it all at once. And so I think that looking back from when I was raised, I had the belief that you had to have a certain education, you had to be a certain type of person, you had to have a certain type of support in your life, your family was a certain way in order to do something. And what I slowly learned is that you can build that network for yourself. I built my entire career, everything that you saw in those videos, from rooms like this. No joke. They started in a room just like this. I went to, Tony Robbins, Landmark Forum. Then I started coaching with different people. We did masterminds. I had mentors. I just dove in head first. And I've done that every year now for 15 years. And I can tell you, it is like quantum leaps every year from that.
That's awesome. So good. In your book and in a lot of your podcasts and interviews that you do, you talk a lot about tribe. You talk about finding your tribe. So, you talked about the power of networking in rooms like this, but how important is it to also find your tribe and find that group of people that are going to support you and be there with you as you go on that journey?
I mean, you guys know, because you have to be around the people in your industry if you want to get to the next level. You have to be around those people who are doing the really big things out there. You have to get in those rooms. You have to get in the rooms that not only normalize it, but you have to get in the rooms that make you really uncomfortable. Was anybody uncomfortable at all coming here? I would love to just see, honestly, does this make anyone uncomfortable? Thank you. Me too. Me too, actually. Yeah, this is the room that you should be in to grow, and you should seek the discomfort, because what happens is your growth will not happen at home. Right? It never happens when it feels good. It's getting in the rooms. It's seeking that discomfort in that network. But my network has truly been everything. And it's come by way of people in rooms like this, because I'll meet someone and it's already leveling the playing field, and it's finding the people who already have the match for you. It's like you guys are in a giant dating app right now. There's so much that you all have in common. If you talk to each other, you would have so many goals that are similar. You might have a background that's kind of similar. Maybe there's a lot of you in here who have to, your family doesn't necessarily believe in you. Maybe your partner doesn't believe in you. So you kind of came here because you're like, are you my people? I hope you're my people. And so that's the importance of getting in these rooms, is it normalizes what you want to do. I remember when I had started network marketing, I was like, okay, well, is it even possible to make a bunch of money in this? And this was, 15 years ago now. And I remember the first event I went to, I watched the whole morning and couldn't spot myself yet. When there's a lot of people on stage and you're like, okay, that's cool, but she just said she had this college education. That's cool, but she was a nurse, so she must have used her nursing background to share about the supplements. Okay, that's cool, but that woman is so smart and just rattled off so many numbers, and that is not me. Then the afternoon came, and there was a woman who was just like me. It was didn't have the educational background, really struggled, didn't have support in her family. And I was like, that is my proof. And I took that proof and ran with it. I was like, she just proved to me that this was possible. I'm going to learn everything that she did. I'm going to learn from the people in this room. I have to be 100% willing, because she just made that possible for me. And so I think your network is not only did, she was the one who made it possible, but then what happened is those people who I was like, I'm not necessarily that, I get to learn from them. I was like, what's the best way to close people? What are the different, sales tactics, all of these different things. So your network is everything. I would be exactly 0 places without my network, because I just learned that you have to ask. You have to ask everything, and you have to be willing to show up vulnerably in those conversations. Because I will tell you, once I got into a company where I had to raise money, I had never done that before. Once I, had to even learn how to do a products company, I had never done a product company before, which my company now is a product company. I would get on these phone calls with these different men, because that's a lot of who is in the CPG space, or that's who knows how to raise money. Because when I first started, I looked around and there weren't a lot of women who were doing that. And so when I would get on these phone calls with these guys, the last thing I wanted to do was be like, I don't understand any words you're using. But I had to do that over and over again. I was like, okay, so what does LTV mean? What does CPG mean? Okay, what does, just EBITDA mean? All of these questions that you have to be willing to get super vulnerable in order to grow. And I think that that's been one of the biggest things for me to learn is you can't get to where you want to be without paying the price of embarrassment. You can't get to where you want to be without paying the price of public failure daily. You have to pay that price, but it is so worth it because you're already sitting in worst case scenario. You're already sitting in your worst case right now because you're not yet the person that you see in your head. And that's the most painful spot you can be because you know what you're capable of. And the people in this room are going to be the ones who are going to hold you to that standard and hold you to that, fire of who you want to be. But you have to tell them. You have to tell them what you want. You have to make an agreement. And that's one of the biggest things in networking is you can't just come in this room and expect that you're going to leave with friends or go, you know what? They talked about building your network and these were my people, but I didn't feel that. Like I left and I didn't have that. You have to be active in these spaces. You have to go up to people and say, hey, I need accountability, or hey, did you join that mastermind? Or hey, are you going to the next event? Let's hold each other accountable in between. Let's make some small goals in between that we do so that we make sure we're showing up as, as the people that we want. So when I'm in these spaces, I am looking for people. I am like that stalker who's like, okay, who do I think could actually like be my friend, or who's somebody on the same page as me who could exchange numbers and we could hold each other accountable. And that is going to be how you reach your goals. So you have to be really active in these spaces to build your network. Yeah,
it's so good. I think sometimes we laud people that are innovative and they kind of like create success in spaces where no one else, exists. But you created success in an industry that is extremely overcrowded, right? Like you went into a red ocean scenario in health, wellness, fitness, and you crushed it. So what were some of the secrets? Like what did you do that helped you actually find success in an area that's so overcrowded?
I mean, you're not going to like it. I just showed up every day, every single day, and didn't take a break. I'm even thinking about the places that I'm really challenged in right now. And I think we're all there. Like social media is it's always changing. And again, I'm finding myself in a space where I'm like, this sucks. Like we're back to like, how are we restarting, trying to figure out how to get even more engagement? And I think that when you think of things that are saturated, I think the separator is always your individual story and personality. Because in the fitness space, I had the realization that there was not a ton of people who were being super authentic about their challenges. And I just went for it. I was reading personal development books and I was like, you know what? On Facebook every single day, I'm going to write a post about how I actually feel this morning, but what I'm going to do instead. Like I have a podcast called Earn Your Happy, and I called it that. I've had it since 2016, but that concept like came into my head one day because I used to think that people were supposed to be happy, and that was making me depressed. Because I was like, wait, are we just supposed to be born happy? And so I dove really hard in the personal development space and the fitness space into being really vulnerable, like saying, okay, I know that people think I'm a fitness person, but I actually feel like depressed today. I feel really overwhelmed. I'm super like, me and my husband got in a fight because all I did on the walk was talk about my to-do list, and I didn't even look at him. And I was such a psychopath on the walk that he was like, I can't walk with you anymore because all you talk about is your to-do list and you're driving me crazy. And then I went down a whole path of saying, you're not compassionate. And this blew up into this massive fight. Like, I was willing to share those things because I wanted people to know that this is what it really looks like on the path to building who you want to become. It's messy. It's ugly. You feel like a loser. You have anxiety. You might be doing these horrible habits that you have while you're out there, even when you first start, like maybe you're speaking about health and wellness, and then I'm at my fridge, like binging on cookies. Like, I just got so honest that I think there's a part of us that is our separator. Even with AI right now, I'm just thinking of building my company. In all honesty, like, anyone can go and get a great formulation now because it's all on the internet. And anyone can go and create beautiful branding, create incredible emails, create incredible funnels with ChatGPT. It is blowing my mind what we're capable of doing. And I think that the separator in everything is going to be how much of a vulnerable, real community can you create?
So I live in the cutest little walkable neighborhood, and recently the store Cozy Earth opened up, and I was so excited about it because, I just love being able to go on my walks every single day. You guys know I go twice a day. And being able to pass by and go in there because it has some of the best stuff. And one of the things that really got me was their bamboo sheets. You guys, they're temperature regulating, guaranteed to give you a comfortable night's sleep, made from viscose from bamboo. They're naturally wick away heat and moisture from your body, helping you sleep several degrees cooler. And you guys, Cozy Earth's mission is to transform your 5 to 9, the time that matters most, into the most comfortable part of your day. And let me tell you, they are absolutely helping me do that because sleeping in a cooler environment offers so many scientifically supported benefits that enhance sleep quality and overall health. Here are some key findings from recent studies and expert recommendations, which I sleep in a really ice cold room. You can ask my husband. I don't know if he loves it as much as I do, but deep sleep is so important to me. So enhanced sleep quality. Cooler temperatures facilitate the body's natural drop in core temperature at night, promoting the release of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. And this leads to faster sleep onset and improved sleep quality. It also helps with mood regulation. Cooler sleeping conditions can boost serotonin levels, contributing to improved mood and reduced symptoms of depression. And there's a reduced risk of night sweat. So for individuals experiencing night sweats, such as those undergoing menopause, perimenopause, cooler room temperatures can alleviate symptoms and promote uninterrupted sleep. So you guys, you can help yourself out with some sheets. I am telling you, these things are life-changing because deep sleep has changed my life. And I just feel like I have a different personality when I've gotten enough sleep. I feel like I have all of the energy that I need to get through my day and do all of the things that I have to do as an entrepreneur. So you can do this risk-free purchasing. It's a 100-night sleep trial. So you can try them during the hottest nights of the year, which are coming up. If you're not in love, you can return them hassle-free, but trust me, you won't. It's a 10-year warranty on all bedding products. That's a decade of cool quality sleep. You can upgrade your summer. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code EARN for 40% off best-selling temperature regulating sheets, apparel, and more. So trust me, you'll feel the difference the very first night. Sleep cooler, lounge lighter, stay cozy. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code EARN for 40% off. When you have a business, there are so many challenging things that you don't need to add more challenge by getting confused with your clients texting you or calling you on your own phone number. Let me tell you, there's nothing worse than knowing that you missed a text or a voicemail from somebody important in your business. And that's why OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline. With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and texts like a shared inbox. That way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. Plus, say goodbye to voicemail because their AI agent can be set up in minutes to handle calls after hours. They can even answer questions and capture leads so you never miss a customer. So whether you're a one-person operation, drowning in calls and texts, or have a large team that needs better collaboration tools, Open Phone is a no-brainer. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/earn. That's OPENPHONE.com/earn. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. When I first started glōci, there were enough challenges that I didn't need to give myself more. And when you're starting off with something new, it just seems like your to-do list keeps on growing every day with new tasks, and often tasks that you have no idea how to do them. So finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything is a game changer. And for millions of businesses, including mine at glōci, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started, just like mine. Getting started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style, which if you go look at mine, I'm telling you, I love it. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. So get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy. Shopify.com/happy.
I think that's it. At the end of the day, that will be your separator.
You have created a new company, glōci, and obviously that's a space that has some competition in it. If you don't mind, kind of explain the brand to the audience, but also what gaps did you see in the marketplace that made you actually want to go into that space?
Great question. glōci is a skin routine you can drink. So it's essentially a skin first hydration stick that is a supplement for your gut and your skin. So it's really the concept of beauty from the inside out. But I wanted to use a method that people were already used to doing. So essentially, I saw a space for hydration for women because, I came from a world of being an athlete. And then when I kind of got out of that, of course, I still love to work out and do all the things. But I was like, I'm not really doing these extreme workouts anymore, except I was still drinking these extreme workout sticks. And if you've ever looked at hydration sticks, almost all of them are created for performative athletes and extreme athletes. So I looked down at my hydration stick and I was like, why does this have 1,000 milligrams of salt in it? I'm drinking 3 of these a day and a ton of sugar. And I was like, this is not helping my skin and this is not helping my goal of feeling lighter, hydrating deeper, and glowing every single day. That is the tagline for the company, and that is what I wanted. I feel like I could create something that could do so much more. Now, in the midst of this, I had started a bunch of other companies. So mind you, came from the health and wellness space, really got into business for 10 years. And what happens when you first get really busy in business? What happens? Your health and fitness routines and goals kind of go out the window? Yeah? Raise your hand if you're just oh, I am everything is out the window right now. Okay. I see you. Same. I'm I am a health and wellness person, and I have a cupboard full of supplements and full of shakes that I am not even touching. I go in there and I'm overwhelmed. I'm God, I'm so tired. I can hardly do anything. And so I wanted to solve those 2 problems of a hydration stick that did more for you. And then also with this idea in my head of, if I only do one good thing for me a day in the morning, what would it be? And so I created glōci off of that. I just kind of put everything that I wanted in that stick, but also to support the goals of women. I don't know anyone in here, and I think you'd be lying if you said you don't want to feel better and look better. And so that's what we created it with.
It's awesome. It is an awesome product. If you haven't had the chance to check it out, make sure you guys check it out. Last question, and then we'll kind of open it up. for kind of last statements, but you work with your husband. And I think that that's a lot of the conversations you guys have with people. I was talking to him backstage. And what are some tips for, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs in here, they're going through it, they're spending time with their spouse, they're building businesses with their spouse. What tips do you have for those that are working with their spouse or starting something with their spouse?
Oh man. Okay, this is a rough one. So we've had great times. We've had horrible times. We've fought like cats and dogs. Sometimes we get along great with it. I love working with him now because we've learned how to do it. We have an elite mastermind together. We have a mentoring group that we do together. We've done network marketing together. We've done a lot of different things together. And in the beginning, what happened is that him and I didn't necessarily know what our lanes were. So we were kind of both doing everything. Anyone in here just kind of both trying to figure it out, like dabbling in everything? Okay. So what would happen is that we would be like over talking on each other, and we would be like kind of getting angry at each other, and me wanting to do something one way, him wanting to do something another way, and just ending up arguing a lot. And another thing was, we were speaking two totally different languages. He came from mortgage and finance industry. Like, think of this, like, do anyone remember the movie Boiler Room? That was like what my husband was used to. So I'm like all at home, like, you know, learning about like meditating and like being a magnet. And he comes, I'm like, oh, I just meditated. I have this event. I want 500 women there. He's like, what are you doing about it though? Like, what are you actually doing about it? And I'm like, oh my God, you're like killing my bubble. Like it was a whole huge thing, you guys, that like, I really felt like I was like attracting people, and he was so mad at me. Like he would just be like, this isn't going to make any money. So we just fought more. And so we sat down one day. We were kind of starting to dabble in a lot of personal development books. And we sat down and had this realization that we are speaking completely different languages. You know, I'm speaking English, he's speaking Greek. Like we had to translate what we were saying. But here's the key.
I just got back from speaking at a friend's event in Canada, and while we were there, it was the perfect time to catch up with friends and also meet a bunch of new friends that we haven't gotten to spend any time with yet. So we got to have some amazing experiences. Like, you guys, listen to this. We got to drive supercars all through the country, and Chris got to drive his ultimate dream car. And if you don't know, I'm a huge wake surfer. So we got to do that, which is one of my favorite activities. And also my other favorite activity, which is catching up over dinners at our friends' homes. And the conversations were so incredible when you meet like-minded people. I think that was my favorite part. But when Chris and I are traveling like this for work and making memories, we love the idea of someone else getting to enjoy our properties, to catch up with friends and make their own special memories like the ones that we had while we make a little extra cash. And now Airbnb has a co-host network that can help with hosting details for you. With the co-host network, you can hire quality local co-hosts to support you with everything from creating your listing to managing reservations, messaging guests, and more. Find a co-host at airbnb.com/host. As many of you know, Chris and I run entrepreneurial masterminds, which means we not only run our own businesses, which we have multiple of, and our personal brands, but we also get to be inside of hundreds of entrepreneurial businesses a year, if not thousands, with our online businesses as well. So with that, we totally understand that all of us are facing so many challenges, whether it's AI or inflation or political decisions. So many things feel out of your control. And that's why growing your business is the only way forward. It's so important to grow, especially your email list, you guys. And Constant Contact's award-winning marketing platform is here to make marketing way easier and way more effective for a small business like yours. The best part, you don't need to know anything about marketing. Your struggle with expensive, slow, and unmeasurable marketing is over. With their all-in-one platform, you can create and manage attention-grabbing campaigns in just a few clicks. Email, text, social media, events, landing pages, you name it, it's all in one place. No more juggling dozens of different tools. You also get automated sending, real-time reporting, and tools that actually help drive drive sales. So you're not just marketing your business, you're growing it. And if you ever get stuck, friendly phone support is included with every plan. That's why over 500,000 small businesses trust Constant Contact to stay connected, top of mind, and ahead of the competition. Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall. You guys, I'm so glad I found Constant Contact and can't wait to get started. Get a free 30-day trial when you go to ConstantContact.com. Try Constant Contact free for 30 days at ConstantContact.com, ConstantContact.com.
We had to actually sit and say what didn't work for us and what did work for us. So for me, when we were talking about finances, I would have to say, I need you to say it in this way and with this tone, because when you say it from a place of fear and when you say it from a place of like, we have to do this, it actually shuts me down. Like I shut down and walk out of the room. Like that was my, childhood avoidance. Like that was literally what I did. So we go back to like those like ways of being when we were a kid, and we just shut down when things don't work in a couple. And so we had to do so much role playing. Like we still have to do that sometimes because we're back working together a lot. But now that we understand each other's roles and what we're good at, and also like he kind of does his meetings and his stuff separately with the team, then I'll do my stuff and my meetings separately. And then we come together once we're like very grounded in what we're doing and we've already made decisions, so that there's not a lot of like this back and forth decisions in his stuff that I'm present for because I just can't keep my mouth shut. So I just stay out of it. So I've learned those places to like stay out of. I've also learned to really respect him, and he's really learned to respect me. Like if there's decisions that I'm making, thank you so much. We love this clapper over here. If there's decisions that I'm making that I feel stronger on than him, like sometimes we'll use a point system, like a number system, like, okay, you seem really passionate about this and we're fighting about it. Like scale 1 to 10, how passionate are you? If I'm like a 10 and he's a 6, I win. Like if I'm like, no, I can't let this one go. And so if that's, something that he's a 10 on, I'm like, okay, take it, run with it, do you? Because I know that when someone has that much passion, it's actually going to go better than if I don't. Like if I'm just kind of like, okay, his passion is going to take that, even if I don't agree with how maybe he's doing a sales pitch, or maybe I don't agree with how he said something on stage and I'm like, oh, that might have landed really bad with some people. I literally go, that's okay. Because there are so many different people in this room. And just like how some of you are resonating with me and some of you are going to resonate way more with other people, that's the power of understanding a partnership, is going, we actually don't want to be totally aligned. We actually want to be hitting these different places in people's lives and these different emotions multiple different ways throughout the day. So it's really good when you have a partner that's different than you. And that even kind of gives you that little cringy once in a while. You're like, oh, good, because it's actually working. It's actually working in certain ways.
Awesome. So last kind of comment, you've got a room of thousands of entrepreneurs. What is just one piece of advice that you'd give to a female entrepreneur in here that's getting ready to chase her dreams, or she's in the middle of struggle? What's just one last piece of advice for a female entrepreneur?
I'm going to give you tangible advice. Go get a mentor or get in a room with people who have done exactly what you want to do before, because they are going to have the path. They're going to give you all of the answers. They're going to tell you all their failures. But one of the most important pieces of that is that it's going to make your comeback rate so much faster. Like Chris was literally on the phone. My husband is backstage. He was on the phone with one of the people that is in our mastermind. And she was having a horrible experience. Like she had something happen in her business and something happen in her family simultaneously. And what happened in a 20-minute phone call on the way back down here could have been the difference of her quitting entrepreneurship completely if she wouldn't have had someone to call and go, this is normal. Here's what we're going to do. Let's put some strategy behind it. Like let's look for some other people we can pair you up with who've had a similar experience. And literally in 20 minutes, she came back. Rather, imagine if we did that alone. It'd be like, I'll see you in a month, maybe. Like I'll see you in 3 months. And in business, like you have to move fast. Success loves speed. So speed happens in these rooms just like this. Speed happens in these smaller masterminds. It's game changing.
Thank you so much for being with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Lori Harder, let's give her a hand. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you.